Now this is going to encroach totally on the wildlife. Like, I mean, I'll take you round to this area. I will go round there, and I'll show you Billabong and Podge's site. Like, they'll be working. Like, they're trying to get it finished so they can sell the houses and fuck off. And like, it's £250,000 for a house. It's no, it doesn't even look like the materials. The hill materials on the site are not worth that. And like, so this is 30 social houses that are being built. So I reckon what they mean by social houses is social works. I'll be dealing with these and getting them out. So it's not going to look good. Right next to the dictate, it's just, you can what's going to happen. Shopping trolleys, rubbish, it's all going to get polluted into there. You know, like, and then they're going to be having their dogs running about after the roe deer and that. And like, so it's just an absolute mess. Like, I've been in here. This is Grumpy George. You didn't get another development. Grumpy George. This is where I met Grumpy George, like, and he didn't like it. He didn't want to follow.
The bumblebees on you.
But the boy was all right again. Like, I says to him, I've done nothing wrong. It's Section 33 and Article 8. They were impinging my movement. I wasn't doing anything to them. And like, so it's like, it's good. Like, it's like, because they got a fluster. There was a thing this morning, the roofing up at Clippington Road.
Whereabouts in Clippington Road?
It's along by Scotmid.
Okay, up there, yeah.
Just at the top of Old Glams Road, kind of like that butty going along there towards the Public Works.
Yep.
That butty there, that's there's 47 roofs in Dundee that haven't been nailed on, and that's the tiles, they've just all been laid on. That's the thing is, I saw the roofing saga continued.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't you, it was somebody else.
No, that was the tenants. He gave me the sort of video. Says, will you put that up? I say, certainly. So we'll no disturb these boys because they're not getting into anything yet. You want to go around and see Billabong and Podge? Well, that was the guy. He was just totally obnoxious. He was just like, get off my land.
Is that the Aussie?
No. This was the wee fat guy with the big huge belly. Looked like he'd ate somebody. I thought, I'm not hearing any of that, man. He was just obnoxious from the start. I asked to see his environmental impact strategy, and he says, go to the council and get it. He was just being obnoxious. I says, there was TPOs, tree preservation orders put on trees. He says, only on a dead tree. And they put a ring around it, and then they took it down. And I was like, they took away beech trees that were 80 to 120 year old. Like, you'll see them when we're around here. There's just a big pile of debris. Just, I was like, that's ridiculous, man.
So haven't cleaned it up?
No, I've highlighted it. But then anything I talk to the council, they just send me emails to a web page link, and that's it. But I keep at them. I keep putting in letters, I keep putting in emails, I keep putting in, I go in person and ask for freedom of information requests. And like, I keep doing all that, so eventually they'll hate to give it.
Yeah, eventually. Fucking 10 years later, you know what I mean?
This is the Dictate burn, what a shame.
What a shame.
This was one of the most important burns in establishing Dundee. Kind of way back and when it was Dundag, the fort on top of the law. You get a lot of heron in here, you get dipper, you also get a kingfisher. And like, I've seen a kingfisher down the other end, like. But it's a really nice burn, and it's a shame that's just going to get full of shopping trolleys and rubbish, is it? With that right next to it, and then that squeezing it. It's less likely that the deer are going to be unaffected. They're going to come into contact with people through the traffic or whatever, so they're going to get knocked down or whatever. However, we'll go around and see Billabong and Podge.
Yes.
They already ken me, like, so. That was it. When I was over there, the police went there. Like when I was over here.
Okay.
So he was at the wrong place. And I heard the boy saying, when the policeman realised and he was about to come round here, I heard any of the boys shouting to him, arrest him.
Oh, yeah.
And so that's how I go round and I go, no arresting me, mate, she'd be arresting you. And for the environmental crimes that you're doing.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. I haven't been in a long time. Look at the state of this.
Well, you remember it used to be the old Lang Hall Hotel.
I used to go to St Saviour's High School.
Right.
I used to walk fucking through these paths.
Right, so you remember that as a wild area,
I do.
and look at it now.
Look at it now.
And you see the wa going up the Langha Brae here. See
Yeah.
all the holes in the bottom?
Oh yeah.
You ken that's going to be for the water. And, but it's ridiculous, man. They keep telling me to stop filming. And like, stop taking photographs. Look at that soil he's just piled up. Ken, that's just rubbish soil, man. It's made to look like, like farm cottages or whatever, ken? Or farm houses.
Probably only the beginning, eh?
The beginning of the end. Ken, like, it's just totally. It's just like, and nothing's there, look. I hate him calling it Dichty Estates.
Yeah, what?
Ken, he's using the thing that he's destroying, ken, like, to sell it. Ridiculous, man. There's all the rubbish that they've dumped, look. This is all here. Oh, I mean, that's only part of it. The good logs and all, and they all went. The beach, the thingy, the beach up, and obviously it went to some sitting of their mates or whatever. No explanation whatsoever. I've complained many times, man, but they didn't bother.
I hope you're not health and safety.
I'm just a member of the public, mate, taking photos.
Hopefully it's not going anywhere. It's going to get us in trouble, is it?
No, YouTube, that's all. And you see all the gabions up here. See, like where all the rocks are hanging. They're not even done right. Ken, that's the cages that you get and you fill them with blue chip. And then he's just put a one line and then he's just dumped it on the back.
Look at this.
Ken, like, it's ridiculous,
Those
man.
trees aren't safe.
No, he's pushed the tree back there. You can see the roots of it. See the roots of it, and he's just pushed it back onto hingy. When that thing is, that'll get dried out and it'll become unstable. And it's like I say, there's Scots pine up there, and they're supposed to be protected. And nobody's protecting them. No, this council anyway. There's no health and safety.
I had a dumper just out there for that if the tree actually fell.
Just to hud it.
Yeah.
So we'll go back this way because it's a nice wee walk. Well, you'll ken that for your St Saviour's Day.
Yeah.
And like,
Oh yeah, back in the day. We used to walk through there.
there was a build a super school down at St Saviour's.
Oh, on the same grounds?
Yeah.
I thought those grounds were...
Well, they're building houses as well, and then they're building the school.
Oh, okay.
And like so, I don't ken how that'll pan out. This is part of the Dichty corridor as well. This is kind of like, and that's what I mean. That's so close to that. You could just see that in through there. You can see the fences, like, and so the wildlife have only got that wee bitty to come through. And they usually use that bitty, and he's totally blocked it off. I asked the police to tell him to get it down, but he wouldn't. And there's another fence, an illegal fence down here, where I say I can't get in, but it's impinging my movement. But nobody's taking responsibility for it. And they're all just saying, no, it's not to do with us. And the council is saying it's not to do with them. So what fence is it then? And I'm not allowed to go in it. And the council cleaner, the boy that goes about with the barry, he was thinking it up every time the youngins were breaking it open. And any time it was broken open, I went in. He says, oh, you can't be in there. I says, yeah, I can. And he says, I've got to tell it to lock this up. I say, oh, I'm not caring. This stuff is invasive. That's Himalayan balsam. There's loads of it right down the burn. There's a bit down here, it's just totally masked. It's no good for the insect life because our insects are no used to it.
Right, okay.
So it comes from India. And it must be a garden escapee, but there's too much of it for it to be an escapee. I think somebody's been going about planting it. Well, no, these are umbels. These are like cabbage or whatever, and there's loads of different types of these. They're no, the hogweeds are usually down on the hingy, and they're quite big. There's 2 different types of hogweed. There's the ordinary, which is okay, the ornamental, And then there's the huge end, that's the end which has got the poisonous stuff.
Yeah, we're getting it back home.
Yeah, on days like this, if you get any of the juices on you, you would just totally blister immediately. And you can hear the burn, you can see it down there. It's a nice wee burn. It's a shame that it's going to get destroyed, like.
And you worked as a conservationist back in the day? Or
Yeah,
did,
I worked with Scottish Wildlife Trust. I did the Lochie Miley.
yeah, I've seen that.
That was my baby. I hadn't been to it for years, and I went back to it, and I was so surprised at how well it looked. Kind of like, it's obviously no in Dundee City Council's control. It's obviously kind of like locals or a group that's doing it. And you'll see all this. There it is. All that Himalayan balsam right here. Well, that just masses over with it, kind of like the height of summer. You can see it, but it's easy to brack, like you just stand it down. That's probably been the deer. The deer use this as a through path into the, that's just a big field over here, which I call Bleachy Meadows. It's a nice wee bit of here. And this should be saved for people to come with their kids or whatever. Kind of like it's no fair that developers,
Yeah, the kids' future.
Developers just come in, just totally eradicate everything, and then you're left with what? Nothing. It's madness. Nice and cool. Look at this. More of that Himalayan balsam. Look, it's just, it just eradicates everything. Just smothers everything out. This is what I found that wee pickup thing.
Yeah, you call the flute, didn't you?
Yeah.
Someone looked like they smashed it up and
The front wheel was just totally flat. Kind of like, it was like, gee.
you had a couple of beers and you thought I better get at it.
No, they took it for Tayport.
Tayport,
I want Fife. Kind of like, this is this fence. Now that's to secure that development, I think. And I always thought a picture of it like. Just so I can, it's.
Oh, look, there's another one.
No, that's a couple of months ago. There was an RN over there that the police, that was, whose law is it? Is it for?
Oh, that was your big one.
That was the bike they were talking about there, and I told them about this, and I told them about an RN away up at the Finlathen Bridge, and like, but not that tree, all that debris. I reported that tree about 2 months ago. Kind of like that tree's fell down. It was in the heavy winds, like.
Yeah.
They've not done nothing.
Oh, they did nothing.
They're choking the burn, yeah.
Look.
It's that evidence. And like they get away with it because you can, like, if they have to investigate anything, they investigate themselves. And like, that's ridiculous, man. And also there was a wee fox family that was living in here. They had a set. I used to come and watch them in the morning running about. 2 youngins and a mum, yeah. Brilliant. And then you get the bats here at night. It's a nice wee wildlife area. I mean, well, you'll remember it. You'll not remember this because this is just brand new. This is all-weather pitch. That was the football park it used to be. They got lottery funded, and this is what they did. But they could have moved it up a bit, kind of like instead of strangling yet again the wildlife corridor. They didn't care, and there's no care whatsoever, no sense of it. But then it's football, you know what I mean? Yeah, you can see the tree there where it's snapped, look.
Oh yeah. Those high winds were back in like February or something, man.
Yeah.
Something like that, wasn't it?
Oh, you didn't see the big tree that's actually across the burn though. That's the other remnants of it that's snapped. But this is a nice walk, and a cycle path as well.
Yeah.
There's like, I meet loads of people going along here, like, and this goes right along to Sainsbury's.
Yeah.
And so it's like a fair walk.
That's a decent walk.
Well, I met a lot of people out for getting told for their doctors to do more walking. So this is the all-weather pitch, which is constantly in use, and they use it to about 9, 10 at night.
All right, okay.
And like, I'm surprised there's nobody on it the day. Right enough. It's funny that the Scottish Football League starts when it's really the murky weather, does it? When
Yeah.
it's raining and on.
Yeah, what a difference. Wow. Like, totally. I used to walk these paths maybe 16 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, completely changed.
It's grew up for then, eh?
Yeah.
It's like, it's all different along here as well. The Drumgeeth pub,
Oh yeah.
that's a sports bar and on.
Is it?
A lot of trouble there though, kind of like because of where it's situated. Well, you've got the Douglas, you've got Happy Hillock, you've got Mid Craigie, and then you've got Whitfield, and like so it's doesn't bode well. You know, the different factions.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh, he's blocked it half now.
There's football pitches there. Why did they have to build more pitches?
God knows. Lottery funding. I was an our crooked politician. That's Shona Robinson.
Development, was it?
Shona Robinson. That was her sort of thing.
She's always been a bit of a dodgy character, hasn't she?
Yeah, she used to be Jim McDonald's babysitter. And you're like, how'd that happen? She was doing more than babysitting, was she? The deer come down here and they go along that body there. See the tree line? That's what they come along here, go round the corner there, and there's another corner, and then they come along here. And they also cross over here. I come down early morning, especially in summer, 3:30 and 4. I like to get them on the video.
Yeah, I had a friend that lived just off those houses up there. Used to see deer come up to his house all the time. All the time. Every morning, basically.
Well, that's it. They're getting forced onto the road. Like so, when traffic come along, they'll get run over or something will happen to the car, right?
Yeah, they gotta have a way to get through. Because dealing with cars.
There's a nice wee bit there. You sometimes see fish in it, like there's brown trout in here.
Is there?
There. See them?
Yep.
There's a couple there. There's 1, 2, 3. Quite nice sets. Now that would give you a good fight. Kind of like on the fly, like a wee fish like that. See if we can get a picture of them. There's a wee tiddler beside them.
I see him.
Quite a bit of them down there.
He's moved. No one he's 42. He's chasing the wee. Lovely looking trout though.
Just up there, like, staying still. Waiting for something to come down.
That's what he is. He's chasing the wee tiddler out the way because they tiddlers are trying to get the best body. Oh, rising trout. And then the wee weir down there, you see them down there and all. Yeah, at the old Stain Bridge. She's got a lampshade on. What's happened to you?
Oh, she got an operation on her eye, so she's had to wear this big cone and she's not happy with it.
No, I wouldn't be happy about it either. Yeah.
It is a shame. I
Imagine-
think she's maybe getting it off later today, hopefully.
Imagine trying to get a drink.
But that's what it was even bigger than that. And our owner, I'm just taking her on a walk, but our owner had to cut it down because she couldn't even get a drink or eat or anything.
What a shame.
Yeah.
Ah. You meet all sorts down here. Dogs with lampshades on their heads and that. a shame. So there's not much going on here today, like. Well, the developments. I just thought I'd meet you there because you wanted to see. Well,
Yeah,
you said
yeah,
Billabong
wanted
and
to see it,
Podge,
yeah.
yeah.
It's been a while. Yeah, that's drum
That's the 9 pitches. That's well, that's where we used to fight when we were wee.
We used to fight Brave U over there.
Ah.
That's where we used to meet up and just fight with them.
Oh, we used to fight the Whitfield Shams.
Oh, what
That was-
they were you at?
We were the mid, young mid. Mid Madrid. That's what they used to call it. That's a nice wee boy there. And I love this big tree, man. This says it. That's an old sycamore. It's thanks to the railways that they got up our Britain. Because we've got the whirligig seeds.
Yeah.
So as the train was going past, it would just sort of pull it up a bit. Some says like. But they've come along here and they've cut down loads of big trees. And I don't ken why. I don't ken if they were diseased or that. I don't think they were like. I just think they cut them down for the rain reasons. So you think is there going to be more development along here?
That's what I was thinking. What's next?
They're just encroaching everywhere, eradicating that wildlife that we've got left. And when our kids grow up, what are they going to be left with? Absolutely nothing. Concrete jungle.
I like when they ask you to not film, you hit them with the Section 33 of the Criminal Justice Act 1972.
Public domain.
Domain, yeah.
Well, I had to go to that was how I had to go to the police to clarify. But unfortunately, my GoPro stopped working when I was filming the sergeant, and he was being really decent. He says, I'll have a word with the officers. Can the Ainsworth sort of threatened us and tell us to keep out?
Yeah.
And he says, oh, I'll see them. I was like, brilliant. I says, I'm actually going to go down to Dundee House now. He says, that's okay.
So what happened with your court then? Are you allowed to talk about it? Or no?
I've got to go back in January. That was a plea debt, that. You might see fish here and all.
Oh, fuck, look at this. That needs to be cleaned out.
And padlock and all. It's in the...
Welly.
Oh, I see wee tiny fish here. Just to the right of that padlock. Just where that bare stone is, there's a wee tiny fish. See his wee shadow on the rock? So that's good, that's healthy. That's what you want, because the heron comes down here and all. He'll be looking for them. And then there's that pool over there, just beyond the weir. You always get them rising there, just on this body here.
Okay.
Yeah, and like, I was standing watching, I always just see the concentric circles just appearing. Yeah. It's nice and laboured today. The amount of good things that are in it. I mean, some wee girl's bike. Come on, I mean, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with it.
Probably stolen.
That's quite low. That's about the lowest
So
I've
see
seen
back
this.
in like when the 70s or whatever like this was completely clean? Is it kept after?
Well, back in the 70s, we didn't have that much to throw away.
Oh,
So that's how I always say, there must have been a big in there. See the concentrics?
yeah, see them, yeah.
Must have been a big in resin there. There's an iron again. We taught you up there, but it's our jaggy nettles. Kind of like to get round to that body there. So you wouldn't enjoy that. But this is certainly a lovely area, like, that should be saved. And I'll keep on going, because I can, there are corrupt, and there are feeding for the same trough. And like, that's what I says to them, I'll no stop till I'm in my grave. There's nothing you can't bribe me, because I'm unbribable. I think,
what good is money?
what is it? When all this is gone, what good is money? And they don't understand, man. They're just greedy for now. And there's a lot of them being let go for the council, and I'm not sure if it's. There's a few that have been kept at them, sending in letters of complaint and that. And so there seems to be a big shift in Dundee City Council. where the headings are now changing. And there's so much.
For
Well,
good
you,
or bad?
Dinna ken yet, because we dinna ken these guys that are in the place now.
Yeah.
Let's hope that they're for the good, eh? We've had enough of the bad.
Do they broadcast the council meetings so
No.
you can see it?
No, no. And when the meetings are kind of like the voting meetings for like voting on the council members, like it's all their own pals, it's all nepotism and cronyism.
No one.
Yeah. It's like it's all set up, and by the time you learn about it, it's next week.
Yeah.
Kind of like it's a week after it.
Back in my town, they stream all the council meetings, so you can watch it and see how the votes go and who votes what.
Well, no, Dundee City Council would lose out if they had to do that.
So corrupt. I didn't realise how corrupt it was until you started highlighting it.
I don't think half the people realise how corrupt it are. Can they just think, oh, it's just a wee problem I've had? No, everybody's saying they wee problems, and it amounts to a big problem.
We had another Canadian friend over here that loves your videos, but he had to leave this morning, unfortunately.
Ah.
He
Oh, well.
was too hungover as well. He had to get out of here and get on the plane back home. So we'll tell him that we met you.
Yeah, well done. Oh, well, when he's over the next time, I'll probably see him. And hopefully I'm not in prison.
Yeah, we were going to say, we seen sort of a police car go by before we met you, and I thought, we hope Brian's not in there.
Oh no, the police are getting a can of me now, and they're just sort of, they're talking nothing to do with it almost, can like, they're like, oh, no, we're not going there. That's how they only kept us for 4 hours. They could have kept us for 8 to 12.
Yeah.
And like, but I think I was getting too gobby, and like, I was just kept speaking to them.
Were
They
you
were like
in a
that.
cell, like?
Yeah, I'd put us in a cell. But I'll take a civil action against the council after the court case. I'll counter-claim it, and I'll say that was ridiculous. Kind of like a member of the public put in prison by the public services, kind of like for being on public ground. And that was kind of like the judge, the stringent bail conditions they gave us as well. I was virtually a prisoner in my own house, because I wasn't allowed to go anywhere where public council services were. And like, so really I couldn't go out my front door.
Are you still limited to that?
No, because when it went to that plea diet, the judge says that's too stringent. Let's see the man's convictions, and he's got nothing.
Yeah.
And like, so obviously kind of like, no, that's too stringent. Ordinary bail conditions, which means you just didn't tamper with evidence, like, or visit witnesses. I still didn't even ken what it is that I've piece that I've breached. And it's like, I'm like, what did I breach? And like, unless I can, how do I ken how to stay away from them? It's ridiculous, man. But I've got all my evidence. Kind of like, this goes back to 1998. And like, when I used to have a house up in Bridgend Street up here, and they took my house away there, and then I was 12 years homeless. And like, and then I got my flat, and I've had that for 12 years. And but then they've done a lot to that. How the thingy where I've got no heating, no hot water, and no sanitation. And like, well, the week before the court, they come up wanting to get all these things fixed. And I was like, no, you stay away from me. My bail conditions say that I'm not allowed to approach you, so you're not allowed to approach me. Oh, it was funny. Some of them, they really didn't have a clue about the law and that. Can they just make it up themselves?
Your last visit to Dundee House, a couple of police officers did the walk of shame.
I told them, the walk of shame.
Oh, honestly, you've kept us entertained so much.
It's been trying to be serious, Dave.
Yeah, I know it is, but it's just like, hypocrisy of it. It's just funny, actually.
Now, he was acting within their interests.
Yeah.
This is mostly where I go with my sort of GoPro down here, just to try and get this highlighted, like, because you see the mess of that tree, and that should have been dealt with.
Oh yeah. Care Park golf course, all those trees are still.
Yeah.
They haven't tidied that up at all.
I went into Kerr Park, but I got advised not to go back there. But I will be going back there sometime this week. So you can't advise us not to go in a public place. You know? It's just, that's unlawful. That's it, they're learning the laws. The Clipperton Road this morning, they were on about, they had a security boy what was filming this tenant. So he says, will you come across with us? I says, I'll come across. So I tell the guy, the head guy, I says to him, under GDPR, your guy has to be SIA registered, and I hope he is. I says, and under his, you become a data handler by taking that man's, filming that man. And I says, and you've got to be able to pay that for him if he makes a subject access request for that. He says, yeah, no problem. He says, that'll be the same for you then. I says, no. I says, I'm an individual. GDPR doesn't cover me. I says, I'm entitled to go about and photograph or anything like a tourist. And so, but this is an amazing wee burn. It's, the heron's no there, but he usually is.
Oh, it would have been good to see the heron.
I was noticing. But because this is here, I can't even get down there. Yeah?
I remember seeing the heron along Millamains. What's that, Claverhouse Road?
Yeah.
And they used to be on top of the...
Yeah, he used to nest on
Yeah,
top of the twa chimneys, we used to call it. The wee, it was a broken down cottage, was it? But it had two chimney stacks. We used to call it two chimneys. I used to go shooting there with my mate.
Alright.
Used to be a shotgunner. For the wood pigeon. We can go up that way, down the Alpacara Road. You can see the devastation from this side. That was the old quarry.
Oh yeah.
Remember I got falled in and the boy got killed?
Yeah.
I was there, I was standing there. The police took me a while back then and says, if we see you there again, we'll lift you. I was only witnessing it. And that was horrible, man. There was two of them. The boy that was standing beside it and the boy that was actually driving it. And as it went to Cowpover, the boy jumped out the wrong side.
Oh no.
And it rolled onto him, Fucking horrible, man.
I remember when we were in school, this quarry got set on fire.
Yeah.
The flames were fucking massive. They must have been about 20-foot high flames. And the guy who I knew actually started it all with a lighter and a can, deodorant spray.
Oh,
Boom, put it all on fire, like, you fucking for real.
The women's flea killer, the spider killer. That's what you say. Now they use motorbikes up here all the time. Oh gee, look, flea tipping.
Oh, lovely.
A nice pine door too, eh?
There you go.
This is what created by a council, by limiting people to dumping the skips. Now if you've got a trailer you need a permit, if you've got a van you're not allowed in. You know, this crap. Stop people putting it in the civic duty, putting it in the civic skips. And this is what we get left with. You know? Ridiculous, man. But then the council will hate to clean that up. You know?
Aye, fuck, that'll be there for years.
Until they decide that it's a mess.
Yeah. I've got a friend that works in the council and your name's getting all, you're rattling them all over.
Yeah, I know that. The kenners everywhere I go.
We asked the police officers when we were in the town the other day if they knew Life O'Brien. Do we know him? He was in one of the videos.
They keep their eye out for us and go the other way.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not being harmful. I'm just going about highlighting things. Kind of like, it's like, what's wrong with people? I think I had that monkeypox or something. But this is the start of the devastation. That's why I was up the back of it, coming down through it, and he said that that was his land as well.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, that's not your land, man. That's when I was at the front shouting, "It's fucking Scotland."
Yeah, I remember that.
It was like, I know, it's just devastated this.
So this is all public land.
This was our public land.
And then so
It was only for the inside curb, but that was where there used to be a row of beech trees coming right down here. 8 massive things. Again, they would have overshot them. He was up there on the banking. And they were like lovely trees, eh? And he took them all away. And like and there was a big Spanish chestnut in the middle, a huge one, like had a massive girth. He took that away now, and greed, and these £250,000. And look at them. I highlighted the tinfoil insides and that, and like that's a joke. I wouldn't give you £250 for it, man. There's the bedrock, you could see it. He's been chipping away at that. He's just piled all this up here. And it's devastating, man. You imagine how that's going to dry out now because that's been took away. So that'll just get drier and drier. And then you'll get cracks in the soil. And that'll just start to slide, will it? There's look at that big huge tree just on there. Look, he's undercut it.
I see that, yeah.
Better get a picture of that, man. It's like our evidence, is it? It's like I say, for when the corruption trials come about. You wouldn't mind if it was the only place that they could build, eh? But it's not the only place they could build. Like I say, all the space along at Whitfield when they tune the scarrings down, eh? They could build thousands of houses there. Oh, it's just... No, I've not seen him again. No. I think he must be a wanted man or something, eh? He's took off again. They now have security on it. I don't know what the reason that is for. Well, it was like... I come round the time and the security boy was there. He says, "Hey, stop taking photos of me." I said, "I'm not taking photos of you. I'm taking photos of the development." He thought I was taking photos of him. But luckily it was somebody at Kent's for, he says, "You bide up on Picara?" I said, "I've not bide up on Picara for about 30 years, man."
Bite just means stay. I'm trying to teach him Dundonian.
Bide. Again, the Dundonian words, man. It must... I wonder what the Canadians think of it, like.
They love it, they love it.
What's that you saying? Is that another language? Oh, it's funny. Getting a couple of pictures of them. I don't think it's podgy in there. Seems to be every time I appear, podgy comes down.
Really?
And then he disappears onto the site and you didn't see him again. And I'm like, what's that about? Oh, he's filling up his dumper, I think. Street lamps.
Devastation. I know he's just doing his job, but that's just devastation.
It's like I say to them, they're only the workers, they're just earning a wage, it's not their problem, eh? It's not their fault that somebody's decided to develop here.
And the Westies as well, they're not even Dundonian.
There are Westies. That way they get away with it, because they're not caring. They weren't brought up here. No history.
No shame.
You would just think if they had a conscience, Ken, they would maybe stop it like, eh? But not. I don't think any of them have got a conscience here.
So what's your next plan of attack then? Who are you going to highlight next? Is there anything?
I've got to go to the East District housing, the West District housing. I've still got to try and get chambers opened so I could see the provost. I want to ask him about. I want to interview him.
Being impossible to find.
You got loads of these mini bikes going about.
The guy was like 15.
At least he was decent. He had a hat on. Like most of them just flee about with nothing. And they're on the wee scooters, can they twist and go?
Yeah.
I see it all the time, man. I'm walking about and then next minute there's scooters passing you. And the funniest thing is the early mornings where you see 3 scooters. There's 2 single lanes and then the in the middle has got 2 on it. And I think that's a drug run. And this is going to be an eyesore as well. There's loads of places to build, and it makes you think when they put pressure on the Dichty Burn right close to this, the Hale Finlathan Park, when's that going to get developed, eh? But it's like I say, the houses, you cannot, they'll be cold and damp and wet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like come winter.
Yeah.
I think that's how they're hurrying up to get them finished before the summer ends,
Yeah, I wonder how many of them are already sold, if any.
Well, any of the guys that can, Spiz, Special Places in Scotland. That's it. He's about zanier, like he goes about everywhere. He's out for a laugh. Jag Betty.
Alright, okay.
It's called Spiz, S-P-I-S. Oh, he has some fun, like. But one of his pals has bought a house, and he says the cornishing around the ceiling is already fallen off. I thought, oh, good luck with that then. There you go.